Chapter 15. The Chemist. I have a really good recall about one usual mission. I should kill a chemist. He tried to kill his best friend with his car. That was a good reason for me to kill him in pain. To my surprise, I didn't get the mission directly from the friend. His friends called me and paid for it. He didn't know about it or he didn't care. Obviously his other friends loved him very much and want revenge, although he didn't die and were still alive and unhurt. Why he tried to kill his best friend, I didn't know. I also didn't ask about. It wasn't necessary or from interest. I'm a killer, and the reason why or how doesn't matter and isn't needful for the job. At first I observed the chemist close to Berlin. I didn't understand why somebody would like to be his friend. It had to be a kind of pity, but not real friendship. I can't explain it in any kind. He was small, with short curly blonde hair, a chin beard that hides obviously his tiny chin, and totally oblique teeth. Mostly he wears black clothes. That was better than his other clothes. In a suit he looks very ridiculous. He looks like, I want but I can't. It will be a good thing for the world to erase this ugly little guy from his pain and dumbness. He worked for a company close to Berlin and developed synthetic waxes, or something similar. I didn't know it exactly, because I didn't inform myself, and it doesn't matter for the job, like I told you before. He didn't have many friends. His colleagues only used him if they need him. All didn't want to be with him longer than an hour. With his bad dinner manners, it wasn't a miracle. I hear a few jokes from him. Almost all jokes were terrible except some that didn't come from him. Very often he steals jokes from movies and series. I think that is pitiful and dull. If it wasn't a mission, I had killed him for free to give him salvation, or I would do it for fun. Parallel to his work, he visits Aikido. Also there, he didn't find friends, only exercise colleagues. A few guys liked him, but only if he teach them Aikido. That wasn't also real friends, but he didn't realize it. Obviously he didn't understand. It is no miracle he was a master in self-lying. If that doesn't work, he blames someone else or someone in his past to solve his problems. It doesn't work, but that doesn't matter. Obviously somebody teach him very good Aikido. And that was exactly what they want from him, nothing more. A few techniques and a special style he gets from someone else. As a martial arts master, I saw this immediately. That didn't come from him. Although he was not bad, in the same way he didn't come far. He stuck and can't develop his skills. The loss of his teacher shows in every try he makes. His former teacher was very good, but now it doesn't matter. I exercised once with him to get more informations. Against me he was a little child and tried to smash me on the mats. I simulate that I am hurt and stop the training at once. I explain that's not for me. And so nobody was curious when I leave and didn't come again. After a few weeks I had enough informations and get ready to start. I developed a perfect death for that ugly little guy. He was so disgusting I never want to touch him again. The contact in the Aikido was totally enough. To kill him was very tricky and need a lot of planning. I decided to do it on an old industrial area. He won't follow me as a volunteer to the scene of the crime. He knows me a little bit, but of course he didn't trust me. He was a horny, disgusting guy and tried to date women with his new friends. To administer him laxative was easy. To get him out of a pub without a contact and unseen was difficult, but not impossible. I wait until he goes to the toilet. In the moment he stands in front of the piss pot, I give him a narcotic with a syringe directly in his neck. He tried to fight a little bit, but it was only amusing than helpful. As next I take an arm around my neck and take him outside. For God's sake, I have a jacket with a big collar and he wears a sweatshirt. I won't touch his disgusting skin again. To my luck, nobody saw us in the moment we leave the pub through the back door. I take him on the back seats of a stolen car and pay the bill for both of us. I won't risk that somebody call the police for bilking. After I take him out of the car, I fixed his feet in the ground with cement and get a bulldozer in a distance of 3 meters. I found a little building place with a bulldozer. Until he wake up, I have a few hours to get all in position. It was weekend and I had enough time to wait without an audience. For the case somebody gets lost in this area and arrive randomly this position, I had a tent to hide the asshole. Before Monday hardly someone would appear now. In an emergency I could hide him under a blanket or shoot him. The last would destroy my plan, but it was better than to get caught. After he wake up, he didn't know, of course, where he was and what happened. I explained the situation and that he will die, because he tried to kill his best friend. He should die by roll over, but when I roll over him, it will work. I am not a monster, and let the bulldozer drive with full speed, and it wasn't a part of the contract to kill him slowly. If I would like, I had have rolled the bulldozer very slowly. In this case, his death had come in minutes, not in a few seconds. With full speed he was dead in approximate 2 seconds. The bulldozer destroys the most of the evidences, also the fixed feet. By the way, it wasn't important if somebody believes at an accident or at a murder. In the moment the bulldozer comes in his direction, he began to beg for his life. But if I would stop to end his crying, I were dead or no good killer. In the moment the bulldozer arrive his feet, the begging ends and he scream in pain. 2 seconds later it was silent again. Only the scratching of the cylinder on the street fills the night. I ran fast to the engine to stop it. I switched off the engine and turned around. The ugly little guy was now a big red blur on the ground. You can't recognize a human in a pancake shape on the street. I planned all very exact, and I worked very clean to avoid evidences. No proof should be found. Neither I nor the former best friend could be involved in this incident. He didn't know where the asshole lived, and he didn't care. He lived his interesting life without his disturbance. All informations I get from him show a very cool guy and a very good friend. To my surprise, hardly someone missed the ugly little guy. His former colleagues and friends didn't cry or lost one tear for him, although they know how he died. They were shocked and tried to be sad, but that was mainly politeness. On the next day, they all live their lives and forget him very fast. Why they should remember about him? He didn't exist anymore. He was dead and didn't really exist at his lifetime. He wasn't also a disturbance grain of sand in the gear of life. I killed a lot of assholes and disgusting people, but this one was the only one I remember forever. He didn't have to try to kill his best friend with his car. Such a good friend he had to keep whatever it cost. From such a friend I can dream as a killer. That's maybe the reason I never forget this mission. I wished I had such a good friend. It is maybe a satisfaction that this guy gets what he deserves, and the former best friend gets his revenge. He was innocent and could feel pleasure without a bad mind if he gets the information of his kill.